Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Chidi Ashley, and this video is all about why I moved from New York City to Bali, Indonesia. I've been living in Bali now for over a year and I absolutely love it. So I wanted to give you guys some tips, some travel inspiration, and let you guys know some of the reasons why I decided to make the move from New York to Bali. And of course, if you're thinking of visiting, this video is also great so that you are well. Damn, I'm trying to be cute. So that you are well prepared for your visit to Bali. I moved to Bali in February 2019, so it's been a little bit over a year since I've been living there, and I absolutely love it. And so I decided, why not put together this video to give you guys some of the reasons why I decided to make the move to Bali, and give you guys some inspiration and some tips for your next visit to Bali. And of course, if you're an expat thinking of living in Bali, then this video is perfect for you. I need some new neighbors, I need some more friends, I need some more people that look like me over there in Bali. So I hope this video gives you guys a lot of information for your next trip to Bali. And before we get started, make sure you comment, you like, you subscribe, you support this channel. I'm going to be bringing you guys a lot more videos on my life in Bali, my life traveling full-time while building a business and all that jazz. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So before I get into some of my reasons, I'll give you guys a little bit of a backstory on me. I graduated from NYU Stern Business School in 2018. I'm only 23 years old. I'm not that old, guys. And after I graduated, you know, as everyone does, I started looking for that corporate job, you know, Fortune 500, like everyone wants, wants to work there, that investment banking job. But yeah, so I ended up, searching for jobs, and I found an amazing job as a business analyst at a tech company in New York, and I absolutely love that job. But I actually, in the process of working there, I started recognizing that there was an opportunity for me to grow my travel brand and my travel business. And so I started working on my business while I was working as an analyst. And so when the opportunity came for me to when I was seeing growth in my business, I decided, you know what, maybe it's time to step back from my job, and maybe it's time to actually pursue this business idea. And so I actually started Chidi Ashley Travels. We create bucket list, amazing experiences, bringing women together from all over the world. And we also plan private experiences for people. We are a full service travel agency, but I'll get into that a little bit later. So I started growing my business, and I was like, you know what, living in New York is just not serving me. Listen, I'm trying to be cute, and the wind is like, listen, don't mind the wind. Back to what I was saying. So, I was growing my business, and I decided that I wanted to take that leap of faith and move on, and to be able to travel full time. For me, I strongly believe that if you're going to start a business, that you should have all the knowledge that you can. And why would I start a travel business and not be traveling full time and not be living that truth? And so it was a no-brainer that I had to leave New York. I had to start traveling. And so I started watching videos on YouTube. And to be very honest with you, YouTube is what made me move to Bali. I watched a couple videos from Los LeBlanc, Passport Heavy, Brett Conti. I watched their Bali travel videos, and I was like, you know what? I'm moving to Bali. And 2 weeks later, I had packed up my apartment. I had given my job my notice, and I was out. I was like, I'm not waiting for anyone. You have to recognize when there's that momentum. Sometimes a lot of us, we miss the momentum. And for me, I just felt that, it was my time, and this was something that I had to do. And so I had packed up everything, and I moved from New York, and I was on that flight to Bali. And so now I want to break down some of the reasons why I love Bali Bali so much, some of the reasons why I think, more people should be living in Bali and considering Bali, especially if you are someone who works online, if you make an income online and you have that freedom to be able to live anywhere in the world, definitely consider Bali. And if you're visiting Bali as well, these tips will definitely help you. So let's get into them. All right, so my number one reason for moving to Bali and loving the life that I have in Bali is because of the cost of living. I mean, the cost of living here in Bali is so affordable. I absolutely, I've been able to live such a good life with so little, like the amount of money that you would spend in a country like New York.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
In Bali, I'm living like a queen, okay? So in Bali, Indonesia, a lot of the things that we would typically get in New York are so inexpensive. Let me break it down for you guys a little bit. Food, I typically spend anywhere from $1.50 to $3 on food in Bali for a typical meal. And trust me, I be eating, okay? I'm eating, and I'm taking leftovers too. So the food in Bali is so affordable. It really depends on also where you decide to eat. For me, I typically, I go for local meals, but sometimes you want to go to somewhere that's a little bit fancy, and then you might spend anywhere from maybe $10 to $15 on a meal. It really just depends. And if you think about transportation as well, is super affordable in Bali. I use Gojek or Grab, and my rides are usually anywhere from $1 to $3, maybe if it's a longer trip $5 or $6. So super affordable. Laundry, for me, I get my laundry picked up. They do it, dry clean everything and bring it back, and I pay about $5 for that. So I just want to emphasize how affordable Bali is. I have a personal trainer in Bali, and that costs me a little bit under $200 a month. I have a private chef. I have daily cleaning. I get breakfast every day, all that stuff, and it really doesn't cost that much. Even the villas in Bali, where you want to live, is super affordable. There's so many villa options, especially if you're splitting that with friends. I know people who spend anywhere from like $300 to $500 a month for a beautiful villa with a private pool, daily cleaning, and all of that. For me, I like to live on my own. I'm actually living in Bali by myself, and so my expenses are a little bit higher. I pay for comfort, and that costs me around anywhere from $900 to $1,000 a month for a private villa with daily cleaning, with all the utilities and all that jazz. So I'm really saving so much money compared to living in New York, paying, I was paying $2,700 a month in rent to live in Brooklyn. I had a 2-bedroom apartment, and that was absolutely ridiculous. So I mean, I have it pretty good, and I also get massages every week. I do facials and all that, and that is really cheap. I mean, I get private massages to my villa, and that costs me anywhere from $12 to $15. Facials cost me anywhere from $30. So yeah, I'm just emphasize that the lifestyle in Bali, you can have it all and you don't have to break bank. And so if you're someone who's thinking of maybe retiring, or if you're someone who just wants an easier life free from all the noise of the Western world, definitely consider living in Bali. I mean, I have just been so much more at peace internally and feeling so much more fulfilled since I moved there, and just having everything on my fingertips and not have to constantly worry about how much am I making and this and that and checking my bank account, just because your dollar really does stretch far. So definitely one of the big things to consider if you're coming to Bali is the cost of living is just perfect. Absolutely perfect, and you can really do it all. And Bali is going to be as expensive or as cheap as you make it. So as much as there are affordable options, it depends on what you prefer, right? So make sure if you're coming, look for different options on Airbnb. You can find things that are affordable. You can find villas that are $30 a night, $50 a night, or you can find things that are $500 a night. It really just depends on your budget. But I'm here to tell you that if you are on a budget, your money will go far. period. All right, so my second reason for moving to Bali was the visa situation. It was so easy and just convenient. And so, a lot of countries, they make it really difficult to stay in their country long term, and they have all sorts of policies and this and that. And while Bali does have, its policies on living there and long stay, it's certainly a lot less stringent than other countries. And so that's why I love being in Bali, and that's why another reason why I decided to move there and why I'm based there right now. So as a foreigner, I'm a Canadian citizen. If you didn't know, I was born in Canada. So as a Canadian citizen, and this goes for a lot of other nationalities around the world, you can actually stay in Bali for 1 month at a time, and then you can extend your stay for another month. So you can stay in Bali for 2 months, no hassle. You just have to make sure when you get to the airport that you purchase the visa extension, and that visa extension is $35, and it lets you stay in Bali for 2 months at a time. And then what you have to do, and what a lot of expats who live in Bali do, is you leave the country and you come back, you get another 2 months. You can also apply for a social visa, which gives you 6 months to stay. But I just do the regular visa extension because I'm always on the go. I'm always traveling anyways. And so it always just works out for me. And with that, the visa extension situation, really what it is if you know that your 2 months are approaching, what you then do is you can fly to Singapore, you can fly to Thailand, Malaysia, and the flights within Asia are super, super, super cheap. So you can get a flight for, let's say, $60 to Singapore, maybe spend a day there or a couple hours, and then you come right back to Bali and you get another 2 months, and completely hassle free. And so that's one of the reasons why a lot of expats are living in Bali. And I mean, we are a big community. Our Facebook page, I think there's over 15,000 expats in Bali, and there's a women's group, and there's a group for people of color and all of that. So don't get me wrong, there are a lot of people here, and there's a big community, which brings me to my third reasoning for living in Bali is the community, like I just mentioned. If you're someone who is an entrepreneur, if you're someone who, like I said before, works online, Bali is just a great place to network, to meet new people, to gain new knowledge and resources. You will find that it is becoming a big hub for digital nomads, and the reasoning is because of the infrastructure here. There's so many amazing coffee shops, there's so many co-working spaces, and you also get to just like I said, build that network. You're gonna meet YouTubers, you're gonna meet people who are web developers, you're going to meet online coaches, all sorts. And you can, work with them, you can learn from them, you can find new business opportunities as well, and you get the time to really work on your craft and master your craft. And that's something I love. I have met so many amazing people that live in Bali in the past year. Some of my closest friends I have met living in Bali this past year, and I just see them on their grind, and it just feels amazing to be around people who are so motivated, who are so ambitious, who are working and living the life that they want. And I want that for everyone. And so, definitely consider that there is a supportive community here. You're not going to come here and be alone and not know anybody, unless of course you're a person of color. If you're Black like me, there's there's fewer of us here, but there's a community. It's a small one, but it's there. But yeah, so there is a community here. There is a support system here. You can ask as many questions as you want on the Facebook pages. Like when I was visiting, I was asking about villas and food and this and that, and people are so responsive. They're so welcoming. So I definitely recommend that if you're planning on moving to Bali, consider joining some of the Facebook pages. I think there's one called Canggu Community. There's Bali Digital Nomads. There's all sorts, and those those will be your greatest resources if you're an expat coming to Bali and you just want people who can answer your questions, who can help you out, who can provide some information. And it's a great way to find people. Let's say if you want a roommate for your villa, it's a great way to also find potential roommates. So I just mentioned this point a little bit, but another reason why I love living in Bali, as someone who is a full-time traveler and who does own a travel company and loves to live a life on the go, Bali is great for just its accessibility to the rest of Asia and to, you know, Africa just a little bit, Australia. And so living there, I really get to travel so much more because the flights are so inexpensive. I mean, to go to Thailand is like $100, or to go to Singapore is like $60, you know, depending on, of course, when you're booking the ticket and all of that. This hat will not let me be great. Like, I was trying to look cute for quarantine, but excuse that. But yeah, so the flights and the accessibility is something that I love so much about living in Southeast Asia, because I really get to travel around. I can go to Sri Lanka, I can go to Vietnam, Cambodia, the Philippines, South Korea, Japan, and I don't have to spend that much, which is so great. So if you're someone who, again, is on a budget and you want to do a little bit of, you know, I know some people do backpacking, or if you just want to experience more of Asia, then it's great to find a base where, you know, you can kind of be based there somewhere a little bit familiar and then travel out to those different places. And that's something that I have done and I have loved doing. So I highly recommend it, and I highly recommend, you know, traveling around as well beyond Bali to a lot of these other Southeast Asian countries, because they are amazing as well. All right, so the next reason I love living in Bali is because life for me is such an adventure. I mean, I have the best time ever. Every day feels new, every day feels exciting. And you know, it used to be my Instagram bio. If you don't follow me at Chidi Ashley Travels and at Chidi Ashley, which is my personal page, and my bio for a long time said I stopped living for the weekends. Every day excites me now, and that's really my life in Bali. I mean, one day I can be off, you know, on a scooter on my way to a waterfall, or one day I can wake up and enjoy views of the volcano. I can head to the beach, I can go island hopping, I can go to the monkey forest, I can just chill at a cafe or get a massage or just do whatever I want. And the reason I love Bali so much is it's such a diverse island. There's so much to do. I mean, I've been living there for over a year, like I said, and I still haven't scratched the surface. I feel there's so much I want to do, so much I want to explore. I mean, north, east, south, it's so different, it's so diverse. You get the beaches, you get the jungle. And yeah, so for me, life just feels like an adventure. And, you know, I'm just happy to no longer be part of that rat race, you know, waking up, going to work, feeling tired, coming back, going to the gym, and just every day feels like the same thing. And so, you know, since I moved to Bali, like I said, I just feel fulfilled. I just feel happy. I have something to look forward to, and I can create my own schedule. And so some days I might be working all day, but then the next day I might be off and I just spend the day relaxing at the beach, hanging out with some friends. And so life just feels fun, and that's what it should feel like, you know, especially nowadays where, you know, with the whole coronavirus situation, we're realizing that working remotely is possible, and it doesn't necessarily affect your efficiency. It doesn't affect your workflow like a lot of companies feel like it does. And so I'm hoping that, you know, after the coronavirus situation is over, companies are able to, you know, adopt a little bit more flexible policies and let people travel more and live wherever they want and work online, because that is the way the world is going now. And I'm seeing so many people doing it, and I hope that, you know, more people can just get and live that life that they want and have that freedom to be where they want. And so yeah, so that is my next reasoning for living in Bali. Let's get into the next one. All right, so another reason why I love living in Bali is the people. And I feel like I can't make a video without talking about how hospitable the people in Bali are. I mean, I have been encountering so many different people. Of course, I work with a lot of locals here, and I have just never had a bad experience. I've never had someone be mean or rude to me. I don't get people looking at me, making me feel uncomfortable. When I'm here, I feel at home. I feel at peace. I feel, I just feel like, this is my home. I feel like I've been living here for years, and the people here are so embracing, so warm, so friendly. Balinese hospitality is a thing. And yeah, so if you're someone who is thinking of moving here solo, if you're not sure, like, am I going to be this? Is it going to be that? Are people going to be racist or this or that? I'm here to tell you from my experience that that has not been the case. I have had such a positive experience here with the local people. They're very used to tourists as well, because the economy here does run on tourism. And so you'll find that you're not going to get those typical like stares like, who is that? And you'll find that a lot of people are very eager to help, very loving and warm. And so that's something one of my number ones that I really love about Bali is just the people here. I've made so many friends with locals, and it's been a pleasure working with so many of them with my business. All right, guys, so if you've made it this far, thank you guys so much for watching. And of course, please subscribe, comment, like, share this video. Stay tuned for the next one. Let me know what you guys want to see, what questions you have about Bali that I haven't answered. I'm definitely going to do a lot more follow-up videos, and I'll probably do a cost of living video to really break down the cost of living here in Bali and what my day-to-day looks like and all that jazz, like I always say. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for sticking around, and follow me on Instagram. Send me a message. Let me know what you thought of this video. Follow me at Chidi Ashley, and follow my business at Chidi Ashley Travels, and I'll see you guys very soon.